to another episod of
Let's Get Spooky.
I'm Leanna Vale.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we're talking about
poison.
I was like, please do the thing.
Poison.
We were talking about
I would flail
poison.
my hands, but my mic will fall. But
You have a lot of things.
I will dab in spirit.
We pre-gamed with, oh my God, what is the band called?
Doritos?
No.
I mean, no, not Doritos.
The song that, whatever.
Well, I had a song and you had a song. Your song was very different than mine, but
Belle Div DeVoe. I think
Yeah.
I might have made that up, but something like that.
which is, I don't even know if that song is actually about poison. I think it's an innuendo for something else.
I'm sure it is. It just had
Girl,
the word poison.
I must want you. It's like he's gonna poison his bitch.
Maybe. We're going to be talking about a lot of poisoning of
Yeah.
things and people.
That was a classic in the before I was born
In the
era,
90s?
and then I had to dance to it.
The whole
As a-
time I was like in this intro when I say it, I hope she does the poison. And you did, so.
But my
all
poison
is
song
well.
was very different from that because my poison song is a classic, and it is by the Prodigy. Remastered, not the original. Fuck that shit.
And not to be confused with the 80s hair metal band Poison.
No, we don't like that at all.
No, I like Poison. What are you talking about? Some bangs
It comes
and
up
blonde
on
hair?
I sometimes on my Spotify I will I'll be like, today I want to hear like 90s classic rock or like 80s, and it'll come on. I'm like, who is this? And then you kind of get into it.
The songs are catchy. They wore spandex pants, bright colors, lots of
They had a look,
studs,
and we
it was-
appreciate that.
Yeah, I do appreciate a good hair metal band. Music was fun. You danced to it.
But we're not talking about music poison. We're talking
we
about
got very distracted.
deadly bullshit.
Poison in various varieties. So, I guess so. My first list of things that I looked up was common poisons that are like household things.
Yeah.
Like things in your home that you don't really think about that could kill you, which carbon monoxide poisoning, I think, is
I had an incident. Did I tell you?
you left the oven on.
Yeah, and I thought it was carbon. No, so this is what went down. Because I work very long hours and I'm home not a lot of time. So I left at 7. It was on in between high and off. And so
Were you making something?
I was making coffee in the morning, but I know I turned it off. So it must have my bag must have hit it or something. So I came back and I've never had a gas leak in my life. I know what gasoline smells like, but I don't know what household gases smell like because I'm a very not OCD, but
You know what it smells like though. If when you are lighting the oven, like the igniter.
I don't put my face in it and go.
You don't have to put your face in it, but if it doesn't, the fire doesn't catch.
But no.
It has a
The
specific
difference
smell.
is between when it's literally on all day, it's a different smell than just hitting it. So I came home and I've never had a gas leak. And I could smell it through my my door, and
Like before you open the door, you could smell it.
oh yeah, it was fucking horrible. And the
How did nobody else smell
landlord
it?
was showing because I live next to the
no.
what is it called? Like the showroom apartment,
unit,
the show unit,
Model
the model
unit.
unit.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yes, thank you. The model unit is next to me conveniently, so I can play out my loud music. But
So
these
these
she
bystanders
was
are-
showing this beautiful couple the model unit, and she immediately called the gas guy. And meanwhile, I was in my apartment. I'm like, what do you do if you smell gas? And Google was like, you're gonna die in 5 minutes. Carbon monoxide. Call 911. You're gonna die. So I opened all the windows. I had this
Turn
giant
the
scarf
fan on.
I freaked out. And anyways, now I know what carbon monoxide is. And I had a meter, and I just didn't know where it was because I've never ever thought about it.
I don't think we have one.
I have a
No.
detector.
I think that the smoke detectors smoke detectors will detect for carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
I believe.
I have a separate one, which
Oh.
I didn't know. I thought
Well,
it was.
I hope ours does both.
All I remember is I remembered it was there because when I was painting my walls black, it was a pain in the ass to tape around, and so I
Oh.
decided to leave that wall white.
Yeah.
all because of the carbon monoxide detector.
So
And
it works though.
It works,
Was it going off when
No.
you? Oh, well, it doesn't really work, does it?
but it wasn't carbon monoxide. It was just nasty ass.
It was just
normal gas.
So the CDC reports that it is one of the leading causes of death in homes because most people, for carbon monoxide, I'm pretty sure carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless. So gasoline from the range from your stove, you would smell. You smell the gasoline.
Was that what was in Midsummer in the beginning? Was it carbon monoxide? Remember at that very beginning part where the mom and dad were in there and they had the gas?
Yes. So that's when you see people will cover the exhaust in a car and then close the garage. And she was basically pumping carbon monoxide into the house. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
It's been out for a year.
But yeah, you can't. You just basically, most people that happens to you happens at night a lot of the times when people are sleeping, and they just stay asleep. You just don't wake up because you can't smell it or see it, which is super scary. So if you don't have a carbon monoxide detector in your home, please get one. Safety first. Another one that I found interesting is household plants. So
all my plants die.
Including
my fake one, which is
what?
Also another story, but I won't go into all my horrible life.
How do you kill an artificial
it killed
plant?
itself. So this actually happened like last week. So I'll tell you the story.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
many things have happened.
It committed suicide. So via the wind. You know how it was really windy?
Yeah.
Was
it outside on the patio?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've had 6 houseplants since moving into my apartment. 5 of them have been dead. So I went to Target. I treated myself. I was just in my zone. Got this little bitch ass plant made of plastic in a nice potted, apparently real glass, which whatever.
You got
I guess
the fancy one.
Yeah. So I woke up and it was just like demolished, and I cried a little bit, and I realized I shouldn't have plants. But I guess if there's poison in them, I really shouldn't have plants.
Yeah, I mean, if you are afraid that you might poison yourself by eating a house plant, first of all, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Second of all, go for the artificial route. So a lot of
Third of all, go to Trader Joe's and just get a bag of quinoa.
Just eat some lettuce.
Jesus.
Don't get plants. So house plants, common house plants, there are a variety of them that are poisonous. Most people don't know, like daffodils, which is a flower, not necessarily a plant. Iris, which is also a flower, a flowering plant. Lily of the Valley, which I'm not sure what that looks like.
That sounds really stupid. That sounds like something you get at Bath and Body Works.
It sounds like it would be. Lily of the Valley, like it has a pretty name, but could also kill you. Ivy, and even mistletoe. And I know poinsettias are also poisonous, but I know they're poisonous to animals. I'm assuming that if it is poisonous to animals as a human, if you eat enough of it, it'd probably make you sick. But one thing that I guess you have to worry about it more with kids. Like as an adult, you're not going to be like, oh, let me eat this ivy.
I ate everything
hungry.
as a child. I ate a penny. Like I didn't give a fuck.
Did you? Were you a kid that put like stuff?
I put everything in my mouth. I
put a pea up my nose, or I think up my nose.
I mean, I put a marble up my.
Do you have to go to the doctor to get it out?
I pushed it out. These nostrils were big as a child. I basically had an adult head as a baby. But I did swallow a penny, and I vaguely remember
like for fun
there was a piggy bank and there was things, and I was just like putting it in my mouth. And so I do remember someone saying the story that they put me at the doctor's, and they put me in a tube, which I guess was an X-ray, and they.
This is like my favorite explaining these stories.
This is literally the episode where I say all my biggest oops moments.
All the things you're like, I don't want to say it.
I guess I ate it and they couldn't get it out, so they were saying that I would just shit it out. And I don't know when, because I don't remember it. I was very small, but I have eaten a penny and survived.
I mean, I feel like that's not...
I also had a Polly Pocket jacket and I didn't die either, so I'm not... If that had any type of lead paint, I've been... really good. I should just go into the Armageddon.
You know, you should, at a certain point though, like you made this point very clear earlier. You were saying everything's poison.
Yo, I have a quote, bitch.
Read that
in my
quote.
notes. So there was a German doctor, and she said, all substances are poison. The right dose differentiates a poison and a remedy. Poison is in the dose, which is very true, because when you think about like vitamin A, like if you have too much vitamin A, it causes liver damage. If you have too much water, it causes this thing called hyponatremia. Sorry, I
have a lot of those
sounded
words.
like I had a stroke.
I have a lot of those big words later, and I'm really
hyponatremia. So it's like you literally think about even like chocolate cake. If you have too much chocolate cake, you're gonna fuck yourself up. Like too much of a good thing can
like
poison
7
your body.
chocolate cakes, you could probably die of too much.
Everything's
chocolate
poison.
Cake.
It's all about the dose.
One interesting common household item that can be poisonous, which is the thing we use every day in the morning time. Can you guess before I say what it is?
Toothpaste.
God damn it. Did you read the same list that I read?
Well, because I've swallowed it before and I felt very sick and I was
really?
Yeah.
So toothpaste is actually itself is not good for you. You're supposed to have a dollop amount on your toothbrush.
Then why did you give me toothpaste flavored jelly beans and make me really like it?
That's fake toothpaste, though. That's not.
Tastes real good.
It's not real toothpaste. But toothpaste with fluoride is the problem. So on most days it gets Oh, hold on. If you have too much fluoride, it can cause convulsions, difficulty breathing, heart attack. And it says that you should avoid fluoride is a thing that they said as a kid, you're not supposed to have fluoride in your toothpaste. Like the kitty toothpaste was no fluoride because they knew as a child you're going to eat it. And that's why it tasted like bubble gum because they had.
Did you ever go to the dentist and they would put the things like the foam thing above and they would do the fluoride treatment and they put the sucker in?
And they had to suck it out because if you swallowed it, it was bad. So they would tell you to spit.
Yeah. Love that shit.
So don't eat toothpaste. And all of these things are like, to us, common sense things. This list, I think, was referring more towards like children and animals.
Yeah.
Because little kids are just going to see something and like if they were little, actually like you,
they
put it in their
stop
mouth.
making it taste so good.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like to me, I don't think toothpaste tastes good, and I don't have the
I
urge
have
to
mint
eat it.
chocolate chip toothpaste.
Oh, but I do love mint chocolate
and
chip
sometimes
ice
in the
cream.
morning I have like a very specific routine because I'm a Capricorn, and so like
put chocolate chips
at
in your
like
mouth and
6:47 I'll
gargle?
start brushing my teeth and I'll be like, okay, now it's time to find shoes, now it's time to find the belt, and so I will brush my teeth while running around my apartment looking for the things, and sometimes it'll be in there for like 3 minutes. I'm just like,
Okay. We were watching a show the other day, and I have pet peeves about things on film or in TV shows. One of the things that drives me fucking crazy is when people on TV or in movies brush their teeth with no toothpaste.
I've never looked that far.
Are you joking? Like they're always in the morning and they're brushing their teeth and they're in the bathroom and there's no like, I bit my tongue. When I brush my teeth, it's a mess. Like I'm getting in there vigorously.
It's like we have rabies, essentially.
Yeah, I'm foaming at the mouth. Yeah. It's dripping. I'm like wiping it.
I gotta be clean for these meetings.
It's like very intense.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna notice it. Every movie, every show you watch, they're brushing their teeth and they're like talking, and I'm like, that's fake.
Can't recall one teeth brushing scene.
Now you're gonna notice all of them. And my other pet peeve is when they drink out of cups that are empty. Like they have a coffee cup.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you can hear
tell
that it's empty. I'm like, put some water in that.
That could
like,
be
put a rock
poison.
In that. Could be poison, but it's
I guess it's just oxygen.
That is the end of my list of household items. So plants, toothpaste, and what else did I say? And gas.
Well, yeah, I mean those are common ones, and the thing is like poisoning has been happening since the dawn of time.
The beginning of time.
Yeah, I mean poison was like the badass mofo to silently kill. It's like a fart but liquid, silent but deadly.
Or not always liquid, like in plant form, or it could be put. Well, I guess they would make it into tea.
Do you have a favorite poison? Because I do.
Do you have a favorite poison?
I have a favorite poison.
If you were going to poison me, what would you use?
Okay, here's the thing. And I apologize to my friends and my, I guess, coworkers, because I will use this as a ultimatum in a lot of circumstances to be like, well, I'll just poison you with arsenic and you can die. But my favorite poison is arsenic. And I just feel like I respect it, and it's silent but deadly like a fart. And also, what was really cool, I have some notes because I'm knowledgeable of these things. Basically,
scientists.
At its core, arsenic, Bill Nye hat goes on. It's a metalloid element. It's a metalloid element that kills by inhibiting enzyme production. So it's found, what's cool is, which we talked about a little bit before, it's found in the environment. It's also kind of found in foods, which is a little scary, but whatever floats your boat, as long as it's not in Chipotle. But normal arsenic poisoning, which made it hard for people to differentiate if it was the flu or whatever, was like vomiting, diarrhea, all the basic stuff.
Yeah.
But what was kind of interesting is arsenic became an ingredient to treat ulcers, asthma, and cancer for a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah. So there was a doctor, something lowers, and he used it.
You were saying earlier, it depends on the dose.
Depends on the dose. Anything. Yeah. And so he found a way to actually use it to treat people. And so, and I guess in very small doses, like, if it was in our food and we got food poisoning, maybe it was arsenic and we didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was kind of intriguing to me. It was, from life to death versus from death to life, where it was like this reverse where arsenic is not as bad as you think it is.
Well, you hear that word and you're like, oh, immediate, like awful death.
Yeah. And like, I think Napoleon died from it. Napoleon Bonaparte. Beethoven didn't die from it, but Napoleon did.
I thought you was like, every time I hear Napoleon, like obviously know who Napoleon is.
Dynamite.
But I just think Napoleon Dynamite. And I'm like, he
poisoned his tots. Yeah. But yeah, there was like significant deaths, and there was a family. It was like the Borgia family, and they were known to use arsenic to kill. And
how did people? My question is how did people? Because I know it's an elemental thing that comes from the earth, but did they just have it at the store?
I think when you think about society and stuff, and I think about the way that stores are now, and there's like little tincture stores. There's probably like
little
some weird little low key bitch that had a basket full of weird shit.
Well, you see all the every article that I found had like the old little bottles, and it had like a little
black
skull
market.
And it had skull and crossbones, but it's something that you would see like in an old pharmacy.
Yeah,
so I'm sure it was, but I guess that makes sense because if they were using it at a certain time to treat things, it would have been something that you could get.
I think there was probably a bad mojo store, and I also think a lot of medicine and scientific research was being done via testing these products on people, being like, yes, this might kill someone, or this might, save their life.
FDA.
Yeah, but back then, like cancer and illness was such a thing. They were probably just slapping shit on everyone to see what happened.
Yeah. Like, will you survive?
Yeah.
Another one that we find in foods, which I find super interesting, that we can consume something in such low doses that it doesn't affect us. So just like you're saying, cyanide, alcohol, and anything basically that
what is cyanide in?
So cyanide is in rice. Cyanide can be found in apple seeds, in like pitted fruits like apricots or peaches.
Apricots.
Apricots. It's an apricot. What else can it be found in? Did I say rice already?
Aluminium.
Not an aluminium. Where's my cyanide list?
All rice?
I believe so.
So
it says apricot kernels. I guess an apricot pit is called a kernel. Tobacco, smoke, insecticides, and pesticides. So most people, when you hear a story of cyanide poisoning, it is usually pesticide. So usually they're getting basically like bug spray or pesticides.
I do remember when I lived in Ye Old Farm area, we were in essentially an apple orchard town in Farmville, and it was like Animal Crossing on crack. But a lot of kids would go through the apple orchards and just like steal apples and eat them. And like they would never, there was always this thing where they said you have to like shine them off and like wash them. And some kids just didn't do it and they'd get sick. And
so that's, from the pesticides on the outside of the fruit. One thing that I found interesting is I was like, how does this work? So if something has poison in it, but we can eat it and it doesn't necessarily affect us, it either means that it's not like a strong enough dose, or there's something that doesn't happen while you chew it up. So I looked up how cyanide works. And basically what it is like, how do they explain it? Like kind of like a glow stick. Like there is two mediums or two things that once they're mixed become poisonous.
Yeah.
So there's two pockets in these. I'm assuming it's in the seeds. Mm-hmm. And once those are crunched together, so like
chemical reaction.
Right. Yeah. As an adult, we don't typically eat the seeds. And if you do, you did it on accident. You're not chewing on the seeds. But if you were an animal, and you were chewing up the whole fruit, you would most likely grind up on the seeds. And when those two chemicals basically mix and the pocket breaks, it becomes poisonous.
I was just very scared to eat any seeds. I remember
because they said a watermelon would grow inside of you.
No, but I remember even my parents saying that if I ate the popcorn kernels, they would all get stuck in my appendix, and then my appendix would burst.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true at all. I think they don't differentiate what organ they're gonna. They're like, oh, we're gonna go in here. Save it for later.
They go in your intestines.
Yeah,
and
weird.
Unless you have like a hole and they come out, then you have a whole nother problem. And I don't.
Did you ever? And this maybe I don't know if it was just East Coast or the whole world, but do you remember the anthrax thing? Mm-hmm. Like, did you ever like have to be afraid to check your mailbox and stuff?
I remember in school seeing it on the news and like the teachers talking about it, saying that like to check the mail. But as a child, I didn't get mail.
Yeah.
No one was
I mean, I had a mailbox. I had a mailman. We had legitimate letters with like weird addresses.
But like bills and like greeting cards and birthday cards and stuff.
Oriental Trading Company magazine.
I don't think there was anthrax in the Oriental Trading Company magazine.
You never know. All you have to do is inhale it.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I guess if you're really messed up, you would put anthrax in like the National Geographic or like what was the kids magazine Highlights? Did you get that magazine? That was like all the fun.
I was just always on alert because I didn't want my respiratory system to collapse, and so my parents would be very adamant about me not checking the mail. But I think they just didn't want me to see the bills.
Honestly, I remember that. And every time I think of anthrax, I think of the band. I don't necessarily think of like.
I didn't know there was a band.
Yeah.
What? And I'm not old enough.
Do you live under a rock?
What are they from the 80s?
What? 80s and 90s?
I was born in the 90s. Just give me some time.
Yeah, but you know, poison. And that was the 90s too.
Yeah, but I'm cultured.
But anyways, I wasn't afraid of anthrax. But I guess it wasn't really like unless you were checking the mail, it wasn't a thing.
I think because I lived in the sticks, everything became a threat.
Oh, they're
beavers, anthrax, mooses. People from the West Coast.
Everything you're on high alert.
Ducks, turkeys.
So your favorite poison is arsenic?
Yes.
Okay. So mine, I don't necessarily know that I have a favorite. I've never really.
I think it would be my favorite murder weapon because I don't want to actually stab or kill anyone. But
you don't like physical contact.
I would love to just silently destroy a human being.
So like from the sidelines, you're like,
yeah.
So I appreciate poisonous flowers. And I do so because I feel like they're pretty. You look at them, you're like, oh, wow, that's a gorgeous looking plant or flower. And you don't think of the harsh effect that it could have on someone. So things like hemlock, and hemlock is like a white kind of flowery, almost like a bush looking plant, which is found
Never trust a white bush. All these influencers taking nice like floral photography. And
you're like poison.
Poison.
In the background. So hemlock or conium is a highly toxic flowering plant indigenous to Europe and South Africa. One article that I read also said Northern Africa. So Africa, I guess, in general.
All of Africa. Watch out!
It was popular with the ancient Greeks who used it to kill their prisoners. For an adult, the ingestion of 100 milligrams of conium, I don't know how you say it, or about 8 leaves of the plant is fatal. Death comes in the form of paralysis. Your mind is wide awake, but your body doesn't respond, and eventually the respiratory system shuts down.
It's terrifying.
Probably the most famous hemlock poisoning is that of Greek philosopher Socrates. He was condemned by death in 399 BC and was given a concentrated infusion of hemlock, which is pretty messed up.
It's pretty messed up.
I would rather be hung. I guess people weren't shot at that time.
Yeah.
But can you imagine just being lucid and awake
suck.
and just paralyzed and slowly dying? Blech.
That's me when I try to go to sleep at night, though. And I'm like, go to sleep. And my body's like, no.
It's hemlock poisoning.
Wouldn't that be a funny video, though, if we just like crashed influencers nice, or like even photographers, their nice like floral videos, and then our heads pop up, we're like, poison. And then we just start breakdancing, and they're like, well, fuck you.
I want a headspin. We lay down my mat, do my breakdance moves.
Yeah.
So next on my list is wolfsbane, also called aconite. I feel like it's not aconite. It might be aconite. Maybe it is. Which is a beautiful purple flower, gorgeous, but will kill you. And so I think it's Emperor Claudius is said to have been poisoned by his wife Agrippa using whatever it's called in a plate of mushrooms. So it's beautiful, it's fine, but poisoning can occur even after touching the leaves or the plant, even with gloves.
Sucks to be you.
So a lot of these things are poisonous if ingested.
Yeah.
So if you eat it, then you're going to be poisoned. But when you can just touch it and you didn't even know you touched it and then you could die, that's scary.
That's kind of like poisonous frogs. And I remember it was funny when I was trying to get into college, and I got into all of them.
Where's the story going?
I was doing, because half of the schools that I was applying to were for fashion design, and I was trying to think of a concept, and I did this whole fashion line about poisonous frogs because they're so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, and the colors
design,
and everything.
Yeah. And they are, like, when you really think about them, they're these little frogs, and you're like, oh, that's so cute, but they're fucking lethal.
Mm-hmm. But mostly it's all by touch, right? So if you touched them.
And they kind of like suck on your finger like, you're
going to
die.
Cute, and then you touch your eye and then you're dead.
So beautiful though, like the patterns.
Another one is belladonna. Here's another one that has a million names, also known as deadly nightshade, belladonna, or devil's cherries. And this is a thing, and I'm not sure what the actual plant is that I remember when I was a kid, but it was like a bush and it had a bunch of little black
I remember
berries
those.
on it. I don't think that was belladonna because that wouldn't be in your neighborhood.
Like
it was
very small berries.
It was something
SMOL, small,
like a normal neighborhood kind of plant. Yeah. But deadly
poorly endowed blueberries.
Yeah, you don't. But I know you couldn't eat them because I remember trying to eat them as a kid and being told not to eat them. But I don't know if they were poisonous or not. So one interesting thing about this is a poison that was actually used for different purposes in small doses. So belladonna was used in the Middle Ages for cosmetic purposes.
For lips. I mean, no, for cheeks, right?
For cheeks. And it also, which this is crazy, diluted belladonna in eye drops dilated the pupils. So they were actually like diluting it.
Pop it into their eyeballs?
Putting it in their eyeballs. And then they also would rub it on their cheeks as like a rouge or a blush. So if in...
Why did they do it in their eyeballs though? You didn't explain that.
It dilated their pupils. So it made their eyes like bigger.
Big old eyeballs.
Right? I mean,
for the men?
I don't know why you would want dilated. I guess I never thought I was like, you dilated your pupils.
It's probably a, you know.
Oh, like a big doe-eyed, like big-eyed.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems crazy.
It's an attractive thing. I'm always anti-dilated. I'm just I'm a mess. So
But when you go to the eye doctor and they dilate your pupils, it's not fun. You're like not supposed to drive after. You kind of can't see.
No, but I'm sure when people wrap their feet in China, that wasn't fun either, but it was like beauty.
That's true. Beauty.
Beauty's pain, literally.
You want big demon eyes and rouged cheeks, but you could also like put other things on your cheeks that weren't poisonous and get the same effect. So,
tomato sauce.
So it says that if ingested, it was deadly. So just topically, it wasn't really a problem. But I feel like ingesting means it's getting into your system, into your bloodstream. So I find it interesting that putting it in your eyes wouldn't have done, because that's essentially being absorbed into your body as well. But it was diluted, so you're not eating it or whatever.
But over time, it's like, you know.
Yeah. Crazy though.
It's kind of like vapes and popcorn lung. If we keep doing it, we're going to get popcorn lung.
Don't vape,
Stop
kids.
doing it.
It's not good for you. What else do I have?
But it smells good.
I have arsenic on my list, but you pretty much talked about. You talked about cyanide. What about botulinum toxin?
I remember looking at this and then I didn't want to say it, so I disregarded.
It's essentially botulism, which is what is in Botox.
Maybe this isn't my. Oh wait, this was the one because it was like, but it'll get rid of your wrinkles.
Botulism. It's botulism. Botulinum toxin? Yeah. Scientists, I don't know if that's right or not. So
your nervous system fails.
Essentially, I started reading about this one and I was like, do I really want to know more? Because I get Botox and I don't want to be afraid.
Yeah.
But I did. So I read more. And so essentially, botulism is a fatal condition if not treated immediately. It involves muscle paralysis, eventually leading to paralysis of the respiratory system and consequently death. The bacteria enter the body through open wounds or by ingesting contaminated food. It says, by the way, botulinum toxin is the same stuff used in Botox injections. So it's different if it's injected versus ingested.
Yeah.
Which is with a lot of other things. It's fine.
Why would you ingest Botox?
Well, you wouldn't ingest Botox.
You ingest collagen, guys. That's
right.
The healthy method.
So,
not that I know.
I was looking up stories because I'm like, so many people do this.
Yeah.
So many people have had success with it. A lot of people haven't had problems with it. And then I read a story about a woman who did Botox, and you see the photo of her before, and she was a makeup artist in LA. Had a great career, and then you see the after picture of the Botox, and she looks wrecked. Like she wakes up with her face all swollen, and the crazy thing so she had it injected, I think in her crow's feet and her forehead, and she had a reaction. So some people have reactions to you're injecting a foreign body into your face or into your body, and something can happen. So she has this severe reaction, and she doesn't think to call the doctor. She just thinks maybe I'm just having a reaction, an allergic reaction, but it wasn't super bad. So she ends up just letting it go. And I think like a week or two go by, and then she's fine.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay. And then I think a week later, my time period might be a little off, but she gets better, and then she gets really sick. And in her mind, she's thinking, well, it's not Botox, right? Like,
no, I'm catching a cold.
Yeah, I have the flu or whatever. And then she ends up having like botulism from the Botox injections. And I'm not sure if they put it somewhere where they weren't supposed to. It didn't really say why she got it. But
it was probably a nasty mix.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a bad batch or, what exactly happened. But she had long-term effects. Like she had seizures and like all sorts of crazy stuff that never went away. because of bad Botox. So if you're getting Botox, make sure you're going to a licensed doctor or nurse that knows what they're doing and not just stabbing needles in your face, because
When in doubt, don't go to someone's living room for Botox.
yeah, definitely don't do that. We
Yeah.
talked about crazy medical things
Yeah.
where people are like, oh, I'm going to go get butt implant in the basement of Dunkin' Donuts. It'll be
Butts
fine,
in
right?
the basement, incorporated.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
What other ones do I have on my list?
Well, we were talking a little bit about like TV shows and stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Which was kind of like a thing that I didn't really, because it's weird, I guess, you know, when I think about like history and culture and even like movies, there is so many subtle poison references, like in Snow White with like the poison apple, and like even with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where they're in like a nasty toxic sewer.
Yeah.
And it's like all these things that I don't even think about it, but then, you know, even like Spider-Man with like the radioactive spider bite, and
Yeah.
it's all these subtle things that I'm just so prone to even realizing. I'm like, that's poison.
Well, and as kids too, it's like that fantastical, they have this encounter with this poison and they're given superpowers, or
Yeah.
in the end, it's a happily ever after kind of story. So
Yeah.
we don't think about it as necessarily...
It's more like an anecdote rather than a poisonous
Right.
thing.
but we see it in shows and movies and horror all over the place.
We're desensitized, essentially.
yeah.
It's like, bring on your arsenic, you guys. Like,
Yeah, it's just not a big deal. And I think the crazy thing is that way back in the day, people could get away with it. There wasn't toxicology. People weren't able to do like testing like they can test now. They just like swab you and they can test for everything.
Yeah.
But at the time, people were able to get away with murder by poisoning
Yeah.
people. And most of the stories that I have are more recent stories of people being caught, obviously.
Yeah, I have-
because
I have
people are-
one. You probably have like 7 million.
I have a
good
lot
ones.
of them. But back in the day, Cleopatra actually poisoned herself. Socrates.
I feel that.
Julius
Sometimes
Caesar.
I'm having a bad day.
like just. Cameron's like Socrates.
Socrates.
Well, you know what? To be fair, as a child, if I read that name, I would say Socrates,
Socrates.
because you read it and that's what it says.
Beethoven.
Beethoven, Socrates. That's how you say them, people. But nowadays, you're gonna try to poison someone. Chances are you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
It's not gonna end well for you. So you do your story.
Unless you're rich, I guess. I feel like rich people get away with everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if you have enough money to pay someone
I
off
think
and
if
get away
Post
with it,
Malone poisoned someone, they'd like make it a rap song and be like, "This is alright,
it
guys."
would be.
Yeah.
It's aight.
So my story was about this guy named Jason Kuhn, which of course I'm going to butcher the name because that's our job on
Because
the
we can't
show.
say words.
He was arrested in 2004 with antifreeze poisoning of his wife Julie. Which antifreeze, I guess you shouldn't ingest it, guys.
It looks yummy. Looks like you should drink it, but you shouldn't.
The couple was living in Waltham, Mass when Julie died, and jurors learned that he had a crippling debt and wanted the $250,000 payout from Julie's life insurance policy. He like fucking went crazy.
That's
And
not that much
his
money,
solution
though.
was a steady diet of antifreeze and Gatorade. Evidence contributing to his conviction included computer searches like ethylene glycol death human, which I guess is pretty convincing that you'd want to kill someone versus randomly going on Amazon and looking
to like
for
look for blankets
Yeah.
or like throw pillows. Which what I realized is, if the police or the FBI ever has to search either of our computers, we're guilty.
Mine is so random.
well, like after this.
Oh yeah,
episode,
after this we're fucked.
my Google search was
The
like
past year of
how
our history.
to poison.
Yeah.
like how to murder.
Best ways, top 10 ways to poison someone without knowing.
Like all
Ooh,
of
that's
we're.
right.
It's going to be really hard for us to. Well, we have this show, so we can be like, hey, no, we were just doing research
guys.
for this. We're actually not
We're
murderers.
scientists.
But yeah, so people were not very smart. The antifreeze, Gatorade and antifreeze was like a common thing. And again, this was the time of the internet. So people were looking at ways to do it where they thought they could get away with it. And Gatorade and antifreeze are things that are easy to get.
What sick fuck drinks Gatorade anymore? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
sorry guys, I guess you're not going to sponsor us, but that's kind of like a child's play. Like we need,
Bevy.
yeah.
Well, they thought they could get away with it. Clearly, they couldn't. And to me, my thing is, wouldn't you taste it? And I know it was a small
Exactly.
amount, but Gatorade.
What does antifreeze taste like?
Because
I remember smelling it because we would have to defrost our driveway, our cars, everything.
Or like to put it in your car.
Kind of just smelled like.
Not Gatorade.
It didn't smell like Gatorade. It didn't smell quite like rubbing alcohol either. It was like this weird mix of like dry poison. I don't know.
I feel like
it was like hairspray on crack, essentially.
Well, if it's something, when I think of people being poisoned in their beverages, you think of they're going to drink something that they normally drink.
Yeah.
Right? She normally drank Gatorade, or she was prone to drink Gatorade. Because why otherwise would you be like, here, have your morning Gatorade or your
teeth were all
evening-"
rotten.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So wouldn't you know what that tasted like? But a lot of these situations, there was foul play, or they were drugged, or like they weren't necessarily in the right state of mind. So maybe they weren't aware of it.
Sometimes you have a rough life and you have to have Gatorade and eggs for breakfast. And I feel you because, you know, sometimes like yesterday I had ramen for breakfast and I just say, hey, like root beer really is a nice pairing with that.
And a little
and you
antifreeze.
just go about your day.
Maybe a little antifreeze just spices
root beer
it up
and
a little
ramen,
bit.
baby. Double R's.
So I have an arsenic poisoning story. You'll be very proud.
Yes.
So this was in New Sweden, Maine, and it's a church poisoning. So in April of 2003, 16 members of Gustav Adolf Evangelical Lutheran Church. I read that one real good. And that was
Look
a lot
at you.
yeah.
With your teeth
In my teeth. In a farming community of New Sweden, Maine, fell gravely ill after a meeting where they'd had coffee brewed in an urn.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was the first.
That's a dead people bowl. That's not where you put your Java. You know?
That's a dead people
That's
bowl.
not going to hold the girth of a nice Java brew.
So it says Walter Reed Morrill, age 78, died from the side effects, and 15 other parishioners were seriously ill. Just 5 days after the fateful meeting, member Daniel Bronson, age 53, committed suicide. Bonson killed himself with a rifle. He allegedly left a suicide note that read like a confession for the mass poisoning. The contents of Bondenson, whatever, I said his name 12 different times. The note had never been made public, and the case is still considered unsolved.
Lame.
But I mean, how is it unsolved?
He poisoned those hoes.
Technically, they were ill, so I don't think they died from it, but it was an attempt to poison them in an urn, which is pretty messed up.
I mean, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's some horror movie shit.
And then he killed himself, so his thing didn't quite work out for him. So I have another one, and this is Orville Lynn Majors, and it was poisoning from potassium chloride. Indiana nurse Orville Lynn Majors was 38 when he was convicted in 1999 of killing six patients. Majors went to prison for life, even though he'd mounted a vigorous defense, stating that he'd been blamed poorly for he'd been blamed for poorly executed medical procedures in the Vermilion County Hospital in Clinton, Indiana. Truth was, investigators suspected Majors of playing a role in the deaths of up to 100 patients.
What the fuck?
Injecting them with potassium chloride, a drug often used in lethal injections. Investigators believe that Majors tended to target demanding, difficult elderly patients. So he was a nurse, and if
He was
pissed
an
him
impatient
off,
guy.
he would
Specifically
just
for elder people.
he would just shoot you up with some potassium chloride and kill you.
I mean,
they were thinking it was suspected that he killed up to 100 patients.
this is kind of creepy because and this is just bringing it to my mind now because I went on that trip last week and we were listening to a lot of Dido for some weird reason, and it was Enya. It was Enya. And I was like, wouldn't it be a really cool horror movie if like Enya, wherever the fuck she is now, we don't know where she is, she came back and she was like this killer and she killed you to her own songs, like ooh cat, and then she injects you with like weird
potassium chloride
with like really like laughing gas that kills you, and then you're just laughing to Enya and you die.
I feel like
it's like that
continuing
washed
to
up.
learn so much about you.
Well,
You were taking drugs on that road.
I was not.
Was there drugs involved?
I've never taken drugs. I've literally partaken in weed. That's not drugs,
In weed.
guys. I've
That's a
only
plant.
had one mushroom in my whole life, not
Of the
including portobello.
hallucinogenic variety?
Yeah, just
Well, that's
one.
a drug.
Yeah, but it was an accident. I didn't even know. It was looking like chocolate, so whatever.
I was in a party
bus and I didn't know.
Yeah, that's some
No,
weird,
Enya and
some weird
mushrooms,
thoughts.
I guess, could go hand in hand, but whatever.
What other ones do I have? Oh, this one, which I find is interesting, is poisoning by nicotine.
I read that, and then I was also like, I know too many smokers. I can't talk about
Well,
this.
so this is not necessarily by like smoking nicotine. So Paul Curry, it took 20 years to bring justice for the death of Linda Curry, his wife. But in 2014, her husband Paul was finally convicted of her murder. His weapon of choice was the same substance that makes cigarettes and tobacco products so addictive, nicotine.
Yeah.
Like many prisoners, Paul... What? Was he... What? Okay, whatever. Paul Curry's motive was money. The Orange County, California jury that convicted him of feeding his wife sleeping pills before injecting her with a deadly dose of nicotine found Curry guilty of first-degree murder with special circumstances for poisoning and murder for financial gain.
What, does she just walk around with her mouth open? Like, yes, insert.
No, he gave her sleeping pills and then he shot her up with nicotine.
Oh.
So another case of the fact of something that you can smoke, and obviously nicotine is terrible for you. You can die from cancer. It has a lot of other things that could happen to you from smoking cigarettes, but being injected directly into her killed her. Well, and it was for a payout. So I'm assuming some sort of life insurance. It didn't say the exact amount, but even when you were saying the earlier $250,000 for whatever the antifreeze for killed his wife.
Yeah.
That's not that much money.
Well, you can you can sell your kidney for $262,000 on the black market. Not
you don't
that
have to kill anybody.
Not that I've looked into it, but I've been like, I need a vehicle. But I've also been like, it's really not that hard if you just either want to whore yourself out or give it an organ. Like, it's really...
You don't have to kill anybody.
You just give up that kidney. You can live with one, guys. Come on.
You don't need two. Oh, I have the antifreeze one too. That was next on my list. There's another antifreeze one. But all the antifreeze
Everything
ones,
antifreeze is just going to blow our minds, and we're not going to be able to go to Walmart without thinking about it in that aisle.
Yeah, and they're all just antifreeze spiked sports drinks. So Gatorade.
Speaking of spiked sports drinks, maybe while you talk about one of these things, I have creepy treats today because I did go on said road trip. I didn't do thy drugs, and I brought back pleasurable items of the liquid variety.
Pleasurable
and
is a subjective
I'm going to try and do this.
In your sense. So another show we were kind of talking about, and you've actually seen it. I know more of the story than the actual show, but it's called The Act, and it's the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Who basically, it's the relationship, the show's on Hulu, I believe, but the story has been out for quite some time. And it is Munchausen by proxy syndrome? Is that what it's? Munchausen by proxy syndrome, which is basically making someone sick to take care of them.
I'm about to make you sick right now. With so this nervous. Ranch dressing.
I feel like my story is going to be...
Continue.
So it's a story of a mother basically... convincing her child and doctors and everyone around them that she is so sick so that she can take care of her. If you haven't seen the show, I actually haven't watched it. I know the story, but I've heard the show is fantastic. It is Joey King that plays, I'm so nervous, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And essentially, once the daughter becomes aware of what's going on and she is... not necessarily old enough or smart enough to figure it out, but once things become aware to her, she realizes like mom's up to something, and she convinces someone to kill her mother. So
we're gonna do that one last, FYI, because that's probably the nastiest thing I've ever smelled in my life. So we're gonna go on to baking soda first. Keep going.
Baking soda.
Baking soda.
I don't want
from
baking
Lester's
soda.
Fixins.
So Ashley went on a trip and she sends me a picture and she's like, I'm getting something for creepy treats. And it's just a photo of disgusting looking beverages. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Contribution. But that, honestly, I don't think ranch dressing should be a liquid like that. That's crazy.
Is it? Are we saving it for last because it's going to be terrible?
It's so bad.
You didn't try it though. Do you need help?
I don't drink beer.
I got a Ouija board bottle opener because I thought it would fit the theme, but it might not. Do you need help? You got to get it under the lip.
That's what she said.
There it is. So we have little tester skull mugs.
Wow, these aren't so bad.
I feel like bacon soda is
small shots so we don't kill ourselves.
We have a variety of bevies to partake in.
So this is from, if you want to go online, there is an actual store. I looked it up and you can buy these in a pack.
Oh, smells This is bacon,
It's bacon
soda, and it
with
smells
maple syrup. It's
Oh, I
actually
was gonna-
oh my god, it tastes like pancakes.
I was gonna say it smells sweet.
It's
Let
like
me try it.
pancakes in a cup.
Oh,
That's fucking
that's
good.
real
mate.
good. That doesn't taste like bacon though, at
Get
all.
it, Lester? We like you.
It kind of just tastes like
Cam, you would like this because your French toast fetish is really strong.
Yeah, Cameron loves
this
a
is
good
like
French
toast.
toast.
in a liquid. Okay.
You have to drink the whole thing out of your cup because you're gonna put a different kind in there. It's kind of tastes like cream soda.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I think that if it was cold, I would give it like a 7. But because
Yeah, me
it's
too.
warm, it gets like a 5.5.
So we're finishing this.
We're finishing already?
Well, we're finishing with number 2. We have 4. Pirate's Piss. This is from Gross Gus. We don't know who Gus is, but we respect his multiple GGPP scenario with these letters here.
I don't even. What is that even gonna be
What
like?
does piss taste like?
What's pirate's piss though? What is that?
Oh wow, that smells good.
It's actual a pirate peed in that bottle, and we're gonna drink it. It's very yellow,
Looks
like
a little
pee
radioactive.
pee.
Wait for me.
Oh wow, that smells. Oh,
Smells good.
that smells like something that I know. Hold on.
Fruit roll up.
No,
wait. Do you
no.
remember those frozen ice pops?
No, Otter Pops.
Those frozen ice pops. The ones that you would like suck out.
What do you do with them?
You suck it.
No, it tastes. It
This is a
smells.
gif.
It smells like something that I know.
That's fucking good. I mean, I wouldn't drink it regularly,
La, 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 la.
but it's not bad.
It smells really good, but it tastes like not that great.
It tastes like lighter fluid, but whatever. We stand.
It smells like a candy, and I can't think of what kind of candy it smells like. And it tastes
swear
pretty good.
It
don't know, that's
smells
what I would
like a
describe.
freeze pop.
Freeze, like the little
Yeah.
frozen.
Yeah, man. Well, other pops, man.
Or like the ones that you get in the Mexican market.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this one's a little bit taboo. This is Martian.
What is
soda.
it?
Taboo.
It's taboo.
Taboo. It's taboo.
It's
We're on
taboo.
planet taboo right now, guys,
We're gonna-
because this is Martian soda. Taste.
I feel like I'm
Mars.
gonna like it.
I honestly looked at it and I was like, I don't know what Mars tastes like, but Elon Musk will not adopt me since he knocked up Grimes. So this is like the closest I'll get to Mars. So because
we'll
I
find
can't
out
be
how
his
good it tastes.
illegitimate child. Whoa.
It's fine. Just leave it on the floor.
No. Oh, that smells delicious.
I'm excited for this one. The last one was okay. I would rate the bacon better than the pirate's piss.
Sorry, guys.
This is Martian soda, and it smells kind of like lemon lime.
Smell like Sprite.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it's really good.
it tastes like
Tastes like
Sprite but less sweet.
It tastes like what Afterfreeze would, or what was it?
Antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
If antifreeze, if you were to guess what antifreeze or afterfreeze
Martian piss.
tastes like after piss, so that's like a watered down Sprite or 7-Up.
So this is the one that's gonna be displeasurable.
You got to clean out your glass.
Bro, I can't tip my head back that far. My hat.
Oh, hold your hat.
This one I'm
We're
gonna
essentially
do.
poisoning ourselves with sugar right now.
This is going to be the smallest shot you'll ever get in your life.
This is ranch flavored soda pop. That is more than a. That's not real.
Bottoms up.
It's it smells like feet, like dirty sock.
It is feet in a cup.
Do I have to drink it?
Yep.
Is this my payback? For
Yeah,
all
this
of
is all
the-
the crickets. This is your transactional cricket effect.
It smells like dirty feet. Oh my god.
That's the worst
That's
thing.
fucking poison. That is poison.
I wonder what it has in it. I'll give it
Arsenic?
It's got spring water,
No.
ester gum, natural flavor, pure candy sugar, cane sugar, my B. Flash pasteurized for stability. It doesn't even say it has ranch in it.
You know,
What the fuck?
I had a really good funny thing that I was going to say, but I'm like tasting it still and my memory is that is disgusting.
That's nasty.
Like I don't
This is sponsored by my friend Cassie, by the way, who I was looking at these. She's like, I'll buy them all for you. And I was like, okay.
Thanks, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie.
Really appreciate you for that. Tasty foot water. So all of those ingredients, and then there's an old man with like his dirty socks.
There is foot fetishes out there. So maybe that is another level of foot fetish.
That's what you call nasty. Okay. I give that a -7 out of 10. Disgusting. I need I thought the smell, usually with the smell is more intense than the taste. The taste was worse than the smell.
Well, what's great now is that we're now segueing into something really great, which is what we call creepy cocktails. Right?
Yeah, you need your thing.
I need my thing. Am I going to go first?
Well, I can.
You go first because
I'll go first. Mine's very simple
creature. And I think mine is the more complex as I am as a human.
So, Cameron, we need the ice cream. This bevy, I don't know what it's going to taste like, involves ice cream. So we had to keep it in the freezer so it wouldn't melt. So on the note of poisonous beverages and antifreeze and all of that good stuff, and Gatorade, you're talking mad shit on Gatorade earlier.
Sponsor us.
The whole time I'm laughing because I have Gatorade. I have Gatorade Frost Thirst Quencher Arctic Blitz flavor, crisp and cool, 80 calories. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh, that was pretty disgusting of a burp. And then,
wait, do we need both?
Yeah, because mine has no dairy in it because I have to have the coconut one. Yeah, we have a spoon on the table. So my beverage, because I'm not cruel, I'm not going to actually put antifreeze in it. I have peach absolute vodka because...
Oh, I need ice too because I'm dramatic.
So we're just going to have a Gatorade antifreeze in quotation marks cocktail. And it's really just vodka and Gatorade. I was
my hand?
Yeah, can you hold that?
Take my hand.
I was hoping to find glow sticks because I thought that would have a really good dramatic effect, but Ralph's didn't have any. So
fuck you, Ralph's.
But
we still love you. We buy your avocados even though they give us diarrhea.
Ralph's has not been kind to us. So I don't know how much. Tell me, is that good?
Yeah, sure.
More.
I prefer a higher ratio of vodka.
Okay, so you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
That is a lot of vodka.
But I'm a big lady.
It's peach flavored and seems so you can pour your own Gatorade because I don't know how much Gatorade you would
like that.
Oh, that was like a dollop of Gatorade. I need more Gatorade than that though. That's good. Yeah. That looks very. And look at that in the light. Very anti-freezy.
This looks like a nice crystal from Crystals R Us.
And I feel like these goblets are very...
cheers it.
They're cheers. Very poisonousy looking. Poisonousy? And you gotta stir mine though. We're fancy here. We stir with our finger.
It doesn't suck.
Damn.
It doesn't suck.
That is real good. Like, dangerously good.
It kind of tastes like lighter fluid, but I'm about it.
I think it tastes like refreshing peaches.
I'm a refreshing.
You had a fun fact
Some people call me a refreshing peach, but if that is what I taste like, I need to misunderstand who I am and reevaluate because this is crazy.
I mean, maybe that's why you probably didn't have enough Gatorade in it because with a lot of Gatorade, it tastes good. And you're getting, what is it?
80 calories of sugar.
To 80. So it's actually only...
Oh, how many cups do I have right now?
We have so many glasses. 300 calories total in this whole thing. But what do you get from Gatorade? Electrolytes? There's something that good that comes from Gatorade. I feel like
people spray it on themselves after a jolly good game.
Pour it on them. But I feel like we canceled it out with the vodka, but whatever.
So
we're neutral now.
So I would give that, if I went to, you know what? Have you ever had what's it called? The fishbowl at Beagle House?
No.
That's what it tastes like.
But I feel like I've had
10 alcohols in it.
Not 1 alcohols, but 10.
And it's blue. So here we go, guys. This is going to be called from my drink, which I'm making for the first time tonight.
Mine didn't have a name. Do I need to name it?
Yeah, name it.
Anti-freezy fun. That's the lamest name ever. Anti-freeze, I'm gonna kill ya. Yeah.
This is going to be... Yeah, I accept that. This is going to be called the Ashley Von Helsing.
Okay, I like it.
Which is very truth-telling. And first we must start with this nice Kraken limited edition black roast coffee rum.
We love it.
At no stores and all stores.
We love it. It's black.
we just do a little boop.
It's very black. Don't spill it on the rug or the couch.
Boop. We do a little boop. A boop is probably 2 ounces of fluid if you want to make this at home.
So like 2 shots
call
or
it a
a
boop.
shot and a half?
It's about a shot and a half.
Okay. Just
so
one
then
boop.
we want to add an ice cube because we want to dilute it because it's thick, boy, thick.
And we have spiderweb ice cubes.
We should probably
Good thing we use the big cups because those ice cubes don't fit in the small cups.
And then what we want to do is we want to use these themed stirrers via my kitchen. You will get the black. You will get the black guy, and I will get the
It's a
silver
spider?
guy. And we will
got
just
a
go like this.
roach?
We just gotta dilute it a little bit.
Oh,
Stir your
we're
shit.
doing. Okay, sorry.
This is what bartenders call mixing water with alcohol. So there we go. It's for drama.
Don't they
So
usually
then-
shake it in the little thing?
So then, yeah, they shake it, but we don't have a fucking shaker, do we? So then we want to add ice cream. And
Wait, that one's mine because I can't
Yeah.
have dairy. You gotta
So-
switch them up. Do you need help?
Leanna's high maintenance,
I am. But I'm aware. I came prepared.
and I am full on ready for diarrhea. So we're gonna go this row.
I got us the little ones. Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god,
do
we have
you
so
first
many
so I don't
cups.
cross contaminate, and we want to do like a significant dollop. Oh,
We probably should have I mean, a significant dollop, as in like the smallest.
Chiseling ice over there.
well, this might take a while.
We probably should have taken them out a little sooner. So it's kind of like a root beer float, but a Kraken rum float.
It's a Kraken.
But it doesn't
Ashley
float
Von
because
Helsing.
it's not
son of a
carbonated.
biscuit.
I've-
This
I
is
got-
supposed to be a large scoop.
I got her like the really cute skull spoon because I was like, oh, this is beautiful looking spoon.
Well, here we go.
There we go. You got a good. Do I have to stir it up?
Yeah, you do. But
Oh, but they're missing everything. I'm hiding.
got some on my pants.
Oh, look at it. Turns ice cream black.
Yep. This is the charm. This is the Von Helsing effect.
Oh.
Second roll.
It just went on her foot. I'm gonna have the ranch dressing foot drink.
My feet are so clean.
Legit landed on her foot. Get out of here. I have enough.
Okay.
I have Ashley Von Helsing foot cream.
Just call that drink the foot.
Cameron, this looks nasty.
See, mine came out. No, because we're not done yet. We're gonna add a little bit more rum.
Oh.
So stop stirring it.
Oh, sorry.
You crazy
I'm getting
bitch.
yelled at. I'm gonna.
So mine is great because mine is cooperating.
Are we done with the ice cream? I can close this one. There's some couch ice cream.
Whoops.
Better than foot ice cream.
Okay. So now
Okay, you want to put that one over there too?
you've stirred. And
Oh, I'm supposed to tell me
just
stop.
let
stirring.
it sit for a minute. God damn it.
So aggressive. Is this poisonous? Am I gonna?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm nervous for my life.
I just want to get it a nice texture.
It looks.
Yours is dairy free, so yours looks weird. Mine looks great.
It looks the same. It looks like curdled black shit.
But it's gotta go. It's just gotta give patience.
Okay.
Because this is also not only is it not only a drink, but it's also a dipping mechanism, and I will show you that in a moment. So you want to do a little bit more.
So it's almost like a shake, right?
Give me a little
Just
bit
a
more.
little bit. Just a little bit. It's all rum.
No, it's a lot of ice because it dilutes
Oh,
it.
okay.
You sick fuck. So then,
don't think so.
we want to add.
What do we want to add? Say it
Let me
real
just-
fast.
Let me just taste it.
What are we gonna add? Say it. What are we adding? She's thinking about what she's gonna say here.
A little cinnamon. Just a little.
Cinnamon. Oh, damn.
Just a little cinnamon.
Just a little cinnamon.
So now if you look at it, it's also a representation of global warming and the icebergs that are now melting, and you should donate to said.
I don't know if you can see it. My glass
Mine
looks.
looks crazy.
Do you mix the cinnamon
let it
in?
sit.
Okay, let it
So
sit.
now we're gonna dip.
Can I take my stick out?
Yep.
Okay.
So now we're gonna dip these nice cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is it a nice beverage, but it's a nice dipping alcoholic treat.
Okay, so just dip.
Dip it.
Dip it. Do
Dip
I
it,
like scoop some
dip
ice
it,
cream?
Get it soaked a little bit. Get some ice cream. If you get a little ice cream, it's going to be really good. Because it's kind of like an ice cream cookie on crack.
So, I do have to say, it's very strong. But with the cookie, it's very nice.
It's very good.
I feel like I'm going to dip my cookie in there and let it get soggy. So it's kind of like a very, very, very strong milkshake.
Yep.
But it's chunky.
It's an Ashley Von Helsing Russian.
And my ice cream was on your foot.
It tastes like me, though. That's what counts.
You know what? To be fair, it's better than the ranch dressing.
Right?
It's a lot better than any
No,
of...
it's good. Close your eyes and sip it. It's really good.
Imagine the foot.
No, it's really good.
It kind of burns my eyes a little bit.
I made it with love. Holy shit.
I love it. Yeah, you weren't...
Well, the key is like, so you don't chug this, you sip it and you dip it.
You don't chug it, you sip it and you dip it.
Sip it and you dip it.
The foot thing, the ice cream on the foot was like just, that's not part of the
Some
recipe.
people would pay good money for that. I read it on the internet. Oh shit.
I mean, it's very strong. It's very good. And it has like a death kind of look to it. Like it looks like poison,
It's supposed to be black, but whatever.
but it's got like the milky blackness
I didn't
in
think
it.
we could find activated charcoal in a day.
Yeah, and I don't know that you're supposed to eat activated charcoal. Are you supposed to eat it?
No,
Are you
you can eat
supposed to? Oh, you can eat it? Okay.
It might be poison, but whatever.
Oh, that's real strong. I'm gonna eat the
Delicious,
cookie
though.
though, now that it's been soaked.
It's good. It tastes like an Oreo now.
What kind of cookies?
Trader Joe's Speculoos.
They taste like the Biscoff crackers on the Delta plane.
Yeah, man.
Very delicious.
Just like my foot.
I'm never gonna get that image of the ice cream scoop flying, landing on your foot. You didn't even stop or question that it was any, and you just picked it up and put it right in my drink. That is what you call true friendship, right there.
Oh.
So with that will do it for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. But I have something to give you before we're done because I forgot to give it to you earlier.
It's my bowling jacket.
Let's Get Spooky chaquetas.
Jaquetas. Well, wait.
Hold on, we're trying.
We're trying.
This
Let me
is the
get mine
front.
on, Cameron. Stop being so
Tell me when
feisty.
you're ready, and then we'll do the reveal.
I'm
You
ready.
ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh God, if you can't read, it says Let's Get Spooky.
Damn right
So
it does.
we also have a bunch of other merch that you can find on our website, as well as being able to watch this video. It's letsgetspooky.com. Another thing is we want to hear from you guys of what you want to hear on our episodes. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at Let's Get Spooky Show. And if you are listening on iTunes, you can also leave us a review and leave a comment on there. You can listen on iTunes and Spotify. And again, you can watch the videos at letsgetspooky.com. So thanks, Fiends, for joining us. And don't forget to stay spooky.
Sure thing.
So much alcohol. Cheers. It's good. It's just